we in here talking about some Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You know what it is. You know, the game's dropping soon. We just having a discussion about some, you know, theories and such about upcoming things with the game, things that we expect, things that we hope that we get, some things that, you know, changes that we hope to see, things that we hope they don't change, that kind of thing. So this will be kind of just like an opinion piece.
We're just gonna throw some questionnaires out there for y'all boys so you can discuss it. And so I want to start off with what do you think of the Whispers and what are they in y'all's opinion?
I think that they yeah. You can okay. I think they've like confirmed, or maybe like soft confirmed, that like they are like essentially like from the planet. You know what I mean? Like they're here to like make sure that it doesn't like deviate off course. That this is like, you know, some like they represent like some part of like the planet trying to align everything, keep everything like where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think that's what I think they represent. But I think, I don't know, I didn't really love them when I first played it. I was like, why are they like changing it? You know what I mean? But it feels like, you know, remake is more of a sequel than like an actual retelling of the original one, like based off everything we've seen. So yeah.
Kurp?
Yeah. First off, hello, my name is Kurp. Professional lurker, meme aficionado. Second, aside from like being like a plot police for the entire series so far, they're mostly like, yeah, they're definitely from the Earth. Aerith and Sephiroth seem to know about them the most. Even Aerith hasn't like said anything officially, which I think they'll do in hopefully I do in Rebirth, especially around like at least like the Temple Agents and stuff. I'm expecting a big drop about Whispers there and all that, but yeah, they're just there to police everything, make sure everything is going correctly. Almost like I don't know if people watched Loki on Marvel with the TVA. Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it. I like that. Yeah.
I mean, look. I mean, if y'all don't mind me giving my slight opinion, you know, I definitely feel where you're coming from, and I'm saying that it seems like every time during remake, when I recently replayed it, it was circling somebody that was focused on changing the story. It was always like Ares is trying to change something, so it was circling her. Sephiroth was in the building, fucking stabbing the Shinra president, and it was circling him. Like it always seemed like it was just like, nah, it's just not supposed to go this way. You know, Wedge was alive in the tower, and all of a sudden they threw him out a window, like those kind of things. But we're gonna keep moving. On to the next question, boys. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Now, do you think at the end of the game, by beating the Arbiters of Fate, that's the last we've seen of the Whispers, or are they gonna continue to push them in Rebirth?
Absolutely not. The way I saw that ending, that whole last fight, I think Sephiroth like baited Cloud and company into killing the Arbiter of Fate, who was the like basically the king of the timeline and all that shit, and then the Whispers were just like basically like foot soldiers. So now Sephiroth is now the new king to the Whispers, which you saw in like the last fight when they all started circling him and shit. And then like side tangent, my favorite part of that One Winged Angel Rebirth song, the whole song was playing all out of order because you knew One Winged Angel, you knew it, you knew how to play like when you were younger and all that shit, but then the way you like jumped across, beginning in the middle and the end and all that shit, he's like, why is this happening? But then the Whisper song just starts playing. Oh shit. Oh shit, okay. Sephiroth controls the fucking timeline. Pretty much, or he's gonna like influence it greatly, some shit like that. But yeah, no, Whispers is still around. Yeah.
Chao?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I felt like Sephiroth kind of had a plan there. You know, I mean, he wasn't doing all that shit for nothing. Yeah, definitely felt like he had an idea of what would happen if they destroyed the Fates, and I could see them bringing them back. You know, I hope that they don't rely on it too much. You know what I mean? Because one thing is, I just got done replaying Final Fantasy VII. I played FF8 and then FF7. I just finished at the beginning of this year. And bro, when I tell you that's already like, I don't know if a story can be better than that. Like literally, even playing it, like, you know, that game came out like almost 30 years ago. It still holds up, you know. So I'm really, in the camp of I hope they don't tweak it too much. Like I get that this is a new story. They want to be able to surprise us, change up some elements. They don't want it to be caught, by the numbers with everything. But I feel like the more they lean on some of these like new elements, it can kind of take away from the original luster of the OG project. You know what I mean? Like it made sense for them to kind of do that in the first one to kind of establish a new timeline. This is different. We get it, but the story is good enough to not need a lot of that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it is kind of like throwing questions out there, like, hey, what's going on with Zach? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm being honest, and I said this in a video a while back, is that I think the ultimate goal here is to like create a separate timeline where like both Aerith and Zach both survive. You know what I mean? Like they both and make it out, or there's an alternate ending or something like that, or alternate timeline where you can save both of them. Clearly Zach's still alive for some reason, but I think that's what they're pushing for, and I think that's going to be like the end goal. So I can see that happening.
Agree.
Do I think that they're going to come back in this game?
Thing,
Yeah. Do I think they're going to come back in this game? Yeah, I agree. It's going to be like a certainty that's happening. I just hope they don't lean into it too much. You know what I mean? They want to be able to surprise us, which is fine, but when you deviate so much from the source material, you're losing a lot of what was special from it. Like even just, I'll save some of that for the next question, but you lose some of the sauce of like what made the original concept and the original medium so good.
Yeah, I agree. But in my opinion, I do feel that I don't think they're gonna. At this point, I feel like the Arbiters of Fate was the last line of defense, which was said in the remake. Is like, hey, this is the last chance for them to stop you from changing shit. And at this point on, it's a new game. It's new game plus. And it's just gonna go from there. They're just gonna let you send that shit. There's nothing stopping you from doing the things you're supposed to do, because at this point, they've already pretty much discombobulated the entire timeline, but at the same time, they're trying to make it, like you said, fan favored. We want Zach to live, we want Ares to live, things like that. But they gave them an opportunity to kind of change everything. And I feel like at this point, what would the Whispers, what would they do at that point? What are they going to stop? Because now it's already a new game. It's already a new game plus.
It is.
In my opinion, And obviously this is, just a speculating theory shit. But let's just say, if they do come back, or if they do get rid of them, this is the last we've seen of them, you assume everything after this is brand new? Like, should there be any more? Like, is this shit just done? Is it dead? Like, we kind of spoke on that, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah, I mean,
is it done?
It kind of feels like we're in brand new territory. I feel like they've changed too much already for it to go back to the original story. So I think, unfortunately, and this is where I get a little like, I don't want to say scared, but like a little like antsy, where like I don't want shit to go into the Nemorian funhouse. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like having to look up a 3-hour YouTube video to understand the story. Especially you're just like, you've bastardized a perfect story. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. So I just hope it doesn't go too much into the funhouse, honestly.
We don't want the Kingdom Hearts experience.
Yeah, it's just like,
you don't.
I don't want to have to play. I don't want to have to like literally be on a Wikipedia looking up stuff to understand what happened. And
I don't want 7 Xehanorts, Kurp. I don't want 7 Xehanorts.
I don't need to. I don't want to have to watch a breakdown video after I play a video game, because it's so much. You know what I mean? Like I play high concept, fantastical stuff, but like some stuff needs a little bit of explanation. But when it's so bad, you know what I mean? So like it stops
so extra.
It stops making logical sense at a certain point, then I think it's the game's all the worse for it, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in y'all's opinion, why is Zach alive? I mean, we know it's probably multiple timelines, but what do you think the devs are trying to do?
Their own little timeline shit. Yeah.
Like Big Team alive, Avalanche members, you know what I mean? And Aerith is sleeping. Like Big's the only one alive. Like, what do you guys think they're trying to do with this fucking timeline? Like, what does Zach have to do? Why is he even there?
Yeah. My personal theory, which I would want to happen, is like Zach would end up being like the Titus of 7 Remake, where he's been dead the whole time and he has to realize it.
That's actually, I hadn't considered that. That actually would be a pretty cool approach.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
Yeah, and then it's like, for me, like that that you had the Whisperers create that timeline, I'm thinking Zack is gonna have to at some point encounter the Whisperers, or at least Aerith or some ancient to like bridge the gap between the timeline he's in and then the timeline that our main party's in and all that shit. And then like he's gonna like, oh wait, I'm dead. What the fuck? And then like probably go through like his own little trial and sure, I don't know, maybe they'll like try to slide him into like fighting Sephiroth on some other timeline or shit. But like at the end, me personally, my headcanon would be he would have to like personally undo his own timeline, and you would have to replay his last fight versus all them Shinra soldiers in HD.
Yeah.
And you would have to like, just watch him get killed again.
I think really he's only back for two reasons. Two words: fan service. That's the only reason he's.
Oh yeah.
Like he's incredibly popular, and the fact that they took so much time and energy to remaster Crisis Core. Like I'm playing it right now, this second, and like this game looks good, and like the fact that they went out of their way to retell that story.
That's
you know what I mean? Like they care about Zack, or they know that there's a lot of love for Zack, so they don't want to burn that fan base. But playing Crisis Core, his sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like that was such a big part of the story. You know what I mean? Like what he did, like when you played through Crisis Core. So undoing all that makes it feel a little wrong. You know what I mean? Like it just don't really hit the same. And then I'm really kind of curious what they're gonna do with Aerith. Are they gonna, make the big moment to happen? I think they have to commit to that because that's such, dude. Final Fantasy VII fundamentally doesn't work without that moment. If she doesn't, I don't want to spoil for anybody listening, but if that doesn't happen, that story is not nearly as good or effective at all. So them kind of like trying to walk back some of these really memorable moments, or not walk back, or just trying to deviate, from these moments. I'm like, some things just, you got it right the first time. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like you made the right decision the first time. There's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like they might try and go out on a limb and try and please everybody, which is impossible. And I feel like that's when they start making mistakes.
Oh yeah. Because, Zack dying was like gut wrenching for a lot of people. And like, I'm an older cat. So like, I grew up in a time where it was like all these new kids were like, oh, Zack is so much better than Cloud because they just played Crisis Core first. They never played the 7 OG. So it was kind of like, yeah, I love Zack, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like you guys didn't play OG 7, Yeah,
you ain't playing the correct order.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And honestly,
but,
in OG 7, he's not even like. He's important, but he's barely in the game, dude. Like he has like maybe 2 minutes worth of scenes, if that. His whole thing is just that it wasn't actually Cloud doing all that. It was actually a third party. It was an actual person. But like he's barely even mentioned. Like you can actually do a side quest. Like it's not even brought up in the main story that Aerith and him actually dated. It's a side quest in Gungaga. So like literally most people wouldn't know that if they didn't play Crisis Core or do the side mission. I'm like,
I mean, on 7. She says it when you go to Gungaga, OG 7, when you go to Gungaga and you talk to his parents, you walk outside and Ares is kind of upset because that was her first boyfriend. But at the same time, the only time you see anything from him besides the flashback whenever he's with Tifa is when you go downstairs in the Shinra mansion and, Cloud looks at the fucking test tubes and he has the whole flashback of them going back to Midgar and all that bullshit.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, man. I'm curious to see what they do. The multiple timeline things, I hope they just got this planned out, you know what I mean? And I don't want them to be doing like no Game of Thrones season 8 shit, you know what I mean? Just like making it up as they go. Like, like, oh, we wrote ourselves into a corner. Now let's throw all this shit that don't make no sense. You know what I mean? Like, let's do that. I just don't want them to. Yeah, I just want that to happen, honestly.
Well, moving on, boys. Let me hear from you guys. What about Rebirth has you two most excited?
I'll let you go first. Go ahead, Black.
Honestly, seeing Sid and Vincent again. Fucking months of like fucking anticipation and shit.
Yeah.
But since they're probably gonna like somehow find some way to push their stories into like the third game, which I'm okay with, so I can sit here and like play with Yuffie and Kate Sith for a while. That'd be fun. After that,
fuck plays with Kate Sith and OG. You know what I mean?
he probably gonna be strong as hell. You saw his you saw a little what's the shit? A little like summary of like his skills and shit. He like buffs the party and all that. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah, he
cool.
looks fire. He looks fire.
Yeah. And then after that, like some of the old characters come back from the new to remake characters because Rush is my favorite.
Ooh!
Yeah, what was that Shinra soldier you fought during like Jesse's side mission?
Mm-hmm.
We went to her house and all that.
Yeah.
Oh man, he was beautiful. Whole thing was beautiful. Fight. The music was fucking. That's one of my favorite new tracks from the game too. Ignition. Play that again. I'm good. That's worth the $90 I spent pre-ordering.
Facts.
Yeah. I think my main thing for sure is the combat. I think the combat engine, like after having played so many like Final Fantasy so recently, I think 7 Remake is the best interpretation we've ever had of ATB. And I think Integrate, the ideas that they had in Integrate, you know, were so good, and I'm glad to see that a lot of them are being like implemented with team attacks and, you know, synergy attacks and all that shit. That was like the one thing I was like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, let's make it more like, I think Chrono Trigger is like, that's always gonna be like my gold standard for a lot of stuff. So it's like, yeah, make it more Chrono Trigger-esque. Like, no one's gonna complain about that. And they did that, so I think it's cool. I'm hyped for the combat more than anything, and to see how open the world really is. I think those are going to be the two things that I really want to see.
Facts. I agree. I think seeing how open the world's going to be, combat, you know. But I'm very excited for a lot of the story elements. You know, Temple of Ages is one of my least favorite in the OG, but I feel like it's going to be represented very well in the remake because it was such a like instrumental part to what you did in the goddamn soundtrack.
Iconic. Like literally that whole section is like hella iconic. The music, the puzzles, like that was one thing about fantastic. The atmosphere that old ass game is able to create is crazy. Like for real. Like it's like really. Yeah, it just has a really good atmosphere. Like the music, the story, everything. Like when you go to the Temple of the Ancients and you walk in and Aerith is like rubbing herself on the ground because she's like freaking out. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
You don't see that type of stuff in other Final Fantasy games. Like for
and
real.
Even the ending, bro. Even the ending when the fucking hole comes through, when K-Sith throws himself to the wind, and you know the hole comes through, and you got Cloud down there. I'm gonna grab the black materia now. I wasn't playing them games.
It's just
that shit gonna look cool as hell.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, we should have put this on there. Really wondering how much stuff is gonna get censored, because real talk, there's like some real like questionable shit in that game. Like for real, dog. Like there ain't no way this is gonna make it into 2024.
Ain't no fucking way.
Yeah, Cloud choking the fuck out of Aerith, that shit ain't making it in, dog. Like,
hell no.
Hell nah. But it really,
I don't know about choking. Yeah, I don't know about that. That might get in.
I don't, but you know what it really did though, and I hope they don't take it out because it really illustrates how like fucking insane Cloud is. You know what I mean? Like how unstable he is. Like he cannot control himself. I think it does a good job of illustrating.
And they're like emphasizing on his little fucking head fevers that he has, but like people don't realize that back when you were playing OG7, it was literally just a black screen with some random person talking to you, and the dope ass music that played while you were talking to that person was insane.
Yeah, and then you never knew who the fuck that person was until like
the
end. Like,
and it was himself. Yeah,
it's just there's so many things about that game that are just like, I don't know. I just really wish they would go back to some of those elements because it's just like incredibly good. I don't know any other way to put it. Like it's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, facts. But I mean, speaking of Temple of Ages, obviously some of the trailers have shown a lot, but there's so much more they haven't mentioned. You know, obviously Temple of the Agents, Medill, City of the Agents. You know, what part of the game, what story part, what part can you get to? What do you want to reach that you two are most excited for?
I am ready.
Barret in the sailor suit.
I'm dead.
You know what's funny, man, is like I didn't care about Barret at all in any of my previous playthroughs, and like Barret ended up being my favorite character in my most recent playthrough. I was like, this is like he has so much like great character, like character development, all the stuff in Corel. Like the amount of stuff he's actually lost in the game is like crazy. Like he lost essentially his whole town, you know. Then he had that fight with the other guy with the gun arm,
dying.
Yeah.
And then you know he loses Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge. Then he loses Aerith. Like he really had like it was bad for him out here, like for real.
Homie was down bad.
Yeah, I was like, man. But I think thing I want to see the most outside of Temple of the Ancients, I'm hoping Temple of the Ancients is pretty good. But the Forgotten City, I'm really looking for, because I love the way the Forgotten City looks in Advent Children. Like, I love the way that it looks. It looks really good. So I'm hoping being able to fight in there would be cool.
Kirk?
Yep. Oh, I forgot to answer my own question.
You did with Barret.
Yeah, no, I'll do it anyway. I had another one. Oh shit. Honestly, I'm not sure if they'll put them in, or maybe they'll do like a side boss or some shit. I'm trying to see what them weapons look like.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to see.
Facts.
Dude, you know what it was? You know what's crazy, man? The weapons were kind of disappointing. Like, literally, like, what they did, like, 2 of them got clapped by the cannon. None of them tried to do anything to stop Sephiroth. Like, I know there was a barrier up, but literally, 2 of them literally just went straight, like, point blank to the cannon. And killed themselves. And I was like, this is crazy. This is supposed to be like the planet's protectors are dying like this? This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, bro, but what's the place, bro, that you get the apocalypse from, Kirk? That fucking forest.
Fuck. Yeah, it was shit. I know the forest you're talking about.
I don't think it'll be accessible in this one.
That's like Endgame though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll be accessible in Rebirth because honestly, you had to have
Ancient
the Black
Forest.
Chocobo at least.
You
had to have the Black Chocobo at least.
Yeah, and you gotta kill ultimate weapon to get there.
But the fact that it's there next to Cosmo Canyon, if they were to throw that out there, that'd be cool. But probably, honestly, what I'm most excited for is the fact that when I played OG7 with a active ATV on full speed, and I fought the secret dude inside of the fucking safe in the Nibelheim mansion, bro, he was insanely hard. So I'm really excited to see if they make him just as difficult as he was in OG.
That was Missing Number, right?
Yeah, Missing Number.
Yeah, that was his name. Yeah, okay, I remember that shit.
Yeah, he's hard. And I was actually over level when I went and fought him. I was like, damn, I'm kind of still getting fucked up.
I'm telling you, you play that fool with the active ATV on full speed, he's fucking crazy.
I was like, yeah, bro, I'm still kind of getting blessed. What's going on?
All right, so in y'all's opinion, what do you think about Aerith and Sephiroth? What do they have in common as far as the multiverse theory? Because obviously we know the Whispers, they circle both of them. They're stopping them from changing things, you know, but obviously they're at the center of all of it. So what do you think the connection is with them? What do you think they're trying to do?
Well, I feel like this isn't our Sephiroth. This is like a Sephiroth that's already lost before. And like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the Sephiroth that they beat at the original, like the end of OG7. I don't think it's that same Sephiroth. I think this is like a Sephiroth that's already seen the future and is trying to change it. I think that's what makes the most plausible sense. Aerith, I don't know. I mean, maybe they're trying to prevent her death, or maybe they're trying to ensure her death does happen. I don't know. It's hard to say with that, honestly.
So you mean like we think it would be like the OG's Seth that died, since that Seth at that point was like just straight up a consciousness, right?
Yeah.
And then he just like shishade and was like, oh hey, how do I prevent all this shit? And like, oh hey, the Whispers.
Yeah.
Facts.
Dude,
okay.
The fact that they kind of overuse Sephiroth a bit in the remake, no, not even kind of, they definitely do. He's like, he pops up too much. And then like playing the original, I'm like, he's barely even in the game.
You didn't see him until the fucking,
and it's not even him
until the damn boat, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, it kind of dilutes his scariness, you know? When you're seeing him
I agree
so much.
A little double edge on that part for me, like having him around as much was like, okay. Like you see him more as like okay, this guy is a guy that exists. This guy keeps fucking with Cloud. You know it now. But then like on the flip side, where it's like bad, like yeah, like I do remember the first time we actually saw Sephiroth was like, you know, you're in the Shinra building, you got caught, but somehow the door's open and you see a trail of blood and shit. Yeah, that first time I saw that, I was all spooky as hell. Like who the fuck did this? Yeah.
But you didn't even see him. You just seen his sword stabbing the Shinra president. So
yeah, even worse. And
then the famous till the boat, bro. You didn't see him till the boat.
Yeah. And even before that, like the famous meme of did Sephiroth do it with the fucking giant snake?
You know what, Doc? That's so out of place for playing that. Like, why the fuck would Sephiroth go out of his way to do that? You know what I mean? Like, literally,
He mashed on that man.
it's literally
Mashed
never,
on him,
it's
bro.
never ever explained. Like, yeah, he probably did do it, but like, it's just like a fucking. He's like a specter. You know, he's like a ghost. Why would he need to fight anything that's not us? You know, it's like.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah. But yeah. I guess to answer the question, mostly. Yeah, the Aerith and Sephiroth are two people that are basically, because they're ancients, they know more than we know. So that's just to be like revealed and all that shit later. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I feel like Sephiroth and Ares are the only ones that have actually already lived this timeline. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of hints within the game where like they just already have lived this timeline, and like Sephiroth's like, all right, I'm gonna find a way to fuck over the planet and still live, and Ares is like, I'm gonna find a way to stop you whether I live or not. Like that's just my opinion, you know.
Oh, God, I forgot. And then when Aerith tapped Red 13 on the head and remake, he knows too.
He said, "Yo, homie, too smart." Nigga.
Yeah, but because of that, I think I'm pretty sure Bugenhagen might know about it too in a Rebirth when we get to him.
That makes sense. 'Cause that boy is smart as shit.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yo, doing fucking Red 13's side story and shit with the ghost and all that. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was actually
GK, bro.
when I played it as a kid. That was like one of my least favorite parts, but this time was actually pretty good. Yo, the character development for the whole cast throughout is universally like excellent. Every character is like has pretty good character development throughout the entire story. Like it's like
I think the only person lacking is Cloud.
I don't know. I liked his whole arc. His arc was pretty good.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
this whole-
I'm just saying, like he homie just was like, I'm this shit, but actually I'm a bitch. I'm just
Oh man.
Anyways, all right. So, do you guys think that the devs will stick closely to the OG script, even though they've forced us to, fight the Arbiters of Fate and all that stuff, and change all this stuff in the future? Do you think they're still gonna stick pretty closely to it, or no?
I think the Pandora's box is already open, unfortunately. Like it cannot be what it was. They've already fundamentally changed too much stuff. So we can only hope that the things they agreed on for the story isn't Nemorian bullshit. Like that's the only thing. The only hope I have at this point.
Honestly, I think they will, but it's just a matter of like adding more decorations to the cake and all that shit. Like the biggest what the fuck, why is this here moment would probably be like if like I said earlier, if like Zack gets splintered into the fucking final fight with Sephiroth somehow.
I think they're gonna try and save that for the last game. I think
Zack runs up on Aerith and he's like, "Yo, why you with this dude?"
Nah, he's gonna look Cloud up now like, hey, you look like you can hold that sword.
Nah, you gonna be like, bro, you was Shinra security, homie. Chill.
Nah. But yeah, it should stay close. Like the main story should stay about the same, pretty much. It's just again like all the extra shit they want to do in between. It'll flesh out the characters that need a flesh out. That was like maybe weaker in the OG, and then like add like extra shit. Maybe hopefully it doesn't like break up the pacing tremendously. Like the fucking Ghost Train yard in the remake, that was so bad. Oh
yeah, that shit's crazy, bro. There's so much to it when all you had to do was move 2 trains in an OG.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Barret getting shot at up in fucking Sector 7 tower and shit. He been getting shot at for like an hour. Yeah.
Alright, so in y'all's opinion, do you think the Tiny Bronco will give us the same amount of freedom that it did in the OG7, or will it be limited even worse? Like, you think it's gonna be 2 big sections of the map? Because we've seen it in the demo how before Junon it's just one big section, right? So we get the Tiny Bronco. We're limited to go anywhere, jump off a beach and go to fucking Wutai, but obviously we've been told Wutai is not a part of this game. What is y'all's opinion on the Tiny Bronco and the limits we have?
Maybe go there like a vehicle customization.
And like a little pit my ride in the game somehow. But I do. Oh god. Well, since Wu-Tang's not in there, you can't like go everywhere you want to go. But oof. No, should be decently sized map. Because they do have they did have that whole bit where they showed you like Chadley was like encouraging you to like explore the map. There's little side quests and shit like, oh hey, find these markers I placed everywhere and all that shit. So if you can do it with Tiny Bronco, that'd be alright.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, is it gonna matter with fast travel? Maybe like, maybe it opens up new destinations.
But is
and
fast travel not gonna work through islands? Is it only gonna be that island? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm thinking like, but they gotta make it practical because nowadays, the way it is like, the way fast travel is implemented into games nowadays is like, once you go there once and you get the fast travel point, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to like do the thing anymore. So I'm curious how they'll implement that. Maybe you have to use a tiny Bronco to reach the area first, and then once you're there, you can fast travel there. You know what I mean? Maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that and probably do some post game stuff like make some side quests only accessible with like the tiny Bronco and shit like that. Probably.
Yeah, that might
definitely
be
the fact that they're saying there's 60 fucking hours of side quests. I'd assume that that's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm. As long as it's a good side quest and not just the same thing over and over again. I actually did not like the side quest in remake at all.
He said it was The Witcher 3, bro. He said it's The Witcher 3, bro.
Witcher 3.
That's what he said. He said he loved Witcher 3, he loved the side quests, he wanted them to be like that.
As long as
Witcher 3 was goated though. Yeah, Witcher 3 is really good. Holy shit. Did you play Witcher 3?
Nah, I didn't play this shit.
I've never played any Witcher game.
Oh, yeah, I need to get on that. That shit is fun. Anyway, continue.
Anyways, they stated obviously Sid and Vincent are not playable.
That's a bummer, man.
You think they'll be more like Red 13 in the remake, where he just kind of came in and fucking did moves and left, or
they kind of confirmed that it is. It's gonna be like that, which is. I've never really been a Vincent's fanboy. Like, I know he's like a fan favorite, but I never really. He's cool, and like I just never. He's whatever. I've always liked Sid way more, so not having a playable Sid is a bummer.
Yeah, trying to get all like all the synergy abilities with Sid and Vincent and all that. Yeah, that'd have been dope.
Yeah, but I guess.
But if they're holding them off for the third game, I'm honestly fine with that. Yeah,
that's fine.
And they give them more time to polish them out and all that shit.
Can't be mad at that.
Or like put like like some new party combination mechanic with them or some shit. Yeah.
Maybe they can just be like support or something. I'd be down with that also.
If more like what Red 13 did, just kind of coming in and fucking.
That way you don't have to worry about keeping them alive. Then they can do their own fucking thing, and it's not a liability on the field.
No, I mean, but at the same time, could you see them sneaking them in? You know what I mean? Like
maybe DLC.
Hey, it's not happening, and then like all of a sudden it's just like at the end of the game you get to play with them for fucking 2 fights.
Oh. That might be interesting.
I don't know. I'm not a Vincent fanboy, but Vincent's fire in my opinion. Like I've always liked.
I love his design and his story. I just don't like his place. It was weird to play. I didn't like his limit breaks. So I was like, even though they're cool, they're like, okay, you're like doing your own thing now. I can't have you doing your own thing in the middle of a fucking boss fight. You're like, that's what I was like.
My thing was like when homie had like level 2 was better than level 4, I was kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Cloud level 1 was the shit too.
Yeah.
Fucking cross slash stunning everybody, like.
Yeah.
Boss fight mechanics.
I'm talking about when I got Blade Beam and I was hitting. Fucking my bad. When I was hitting Rufus and the dog with Blade Beam.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, but what was I gonna say? Oh, that the whole Vincent talk, that reminded me of fucking Dirge Cerberus. Like if they want to like try to like spend more time like incorporate any good nods to that game style and shit, that'd be cool.
I think they might because they already put who was the brothers in Integrate, Weiss and yeah. And I actually thought that fight was so fucking fun. Oh my god.
It was
I was
fire.
like, these fights are crazy good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a little curveball for y'all because this is what I've been thinking for a while. Obviously, after remake changes the game completely, right? Like we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I know we're looking at Advent Children that came from OG. Now let's talk about the fact that after remake happens and Zack's on the timeline and all these things have happened, do you think they're gonna make another Advent Children?
Nah, maybe. I mean, I feel like it depends on the success of the Rebirth and then the third game. But I mean, there's no reason to stop printing money, I guess. You know what I mean? They might be able to do an Advent Children. Advent Children's story is not that long, so they could probably do that as like a final, like whatever, chapter 4, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Advent Children Cloud and that would Advent Children Tifa outfits and shit.
Yeah.
Those would look nice in HD and all that. Or like shit, if they even like fucking throw a curve on, like sprinkle some scenes or like HD scenes into either Rebirth or the third game or some shit to like mind fuck with the audience. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. In my opinion, with them releasing Advent Children theaters and the fact that they're going through they released Crisis Core Reunion early just to put Zack back into the story, and now they're putting Advent Children in theaters now before Rebirth drops. I feel like to cash in on the cash cow, they're gonna wait till remake's done and they're gonna make another Advent Children because obviously the story's changed. You're not gonna have the same aftermath.
Dodge might actually be a character.
The DLC?
No, I mean like he might actually get like character development besides being a mama's boy on top of a mama's boy.
I'm not gonna lie, I'd like to see Genesis come back.
Genesis?
See what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on.
Dude, Genesis was my favorite character in after Zack and Crisis Core.
Homie just disappeared.
I was like, bro, why is everybody hate on this character? Like, I think he's pretty good. I mean, the reading shit, I guess, aside, but I didn't think it was that bad.
As I said, the only thing trash about him is every time we talk to him, he's like, in Loveless, chapter 4, section 1.
That kind of wore on a little bit, but other than that, I thought he was pretty good. I love his design. His design looks cool as fuck.
Actually, he's been around the whole time. Going to Crisis Core and fucking Doja Surya, he's been around the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Again, like they want to splice him in the game, go ahead, but make it good.
Make it good.
Yeah. Like just this fun little handcannon shit. Like if Rebirth started with like some guy just randomly reading poems and shit, we'd already know. You wouldn't have to show his face. And then some shit, any in between like if they do like chapter segmentations and shit, you just see like a random Loveless stanza or some shit. I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna show up sometime today, huh?
Yeah,
Nice.
I would not be mad if he came through.
That's pretty much it, boys.
Damn, I kind of do want to see some weapons though, but I doubt it. But that means that the final chapter is going to be good as hell, at least, because then you'll have the weapons, you'll have like the final boss, Northern Crater. Like, yeah, chapter 3 is going to be lit.
Yeah, I feel like chapter 3 is gonna be like, cause this too and OG was relatively short, so they're just gonna flush through that and they're gonna be like, here's an open ass world, do what you want to do, and then also here's the Northern Cave and the weapons, have fucking fun.
Then it's gonna be Yuffie, Vincent, and Sid, the side stories, all in that third game too, unless they like splice more of Yuffie shit into Rebirth, which they probably are.
I mean, this saying Wu-Tai's not a thing, so you're probably right with the first one, honestly.
Yeah. But like if they expand on what they did in Intrograde, because like again, like what they did in Intrograde was Yuffie was part of a group that was working with Avalanche. So I'm like if you just pulled out the bed like, hey, remember me? Like, no. Some shit like that.
Bro, literally, I was just doing the Condor missions, and I was over there playing Fort Condor with Jesse, Wedge, and I was like, how the fuck? Well, obviously they died in the OG, so they don't remember her ass.
Hey, they wouldn't know. But Oh, something something I fucking forgot about. I remember this one YouTube theory piece, but one thing they actually that kind of culminates like how most people feel like, oh hey, hope the story doesn't go too crazy or doesn't like deviate from like themes and shit. We pointed out that the main theme of Final Fantasy VII was having an untrustworthy narrator.
Yeah, unreliable
Okay.
narrator. You know,
Yeah.
FF7 is like a fucking it's actually like a mystery. Like, that's
Right.
one thing I like the most about it. It's like you don't really know what's going on with the story because there's so much misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
No.
It is good.
And then and then like coming in a remake, since we already know what the fuck was happening, they put in a new mystery, which is now basically what the whispers are.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from an untrustworthy narrator to now an untrustworthy world.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's pretty nifty theory right there. Yeah,
I'm really excited to see, like, you know, obviously Calm was just a hop step away, but like now in the after integrate, it's like, oh, we gotta ride in the fucking truck and figure out all this bullshit. Like, are we gonna see the minesweepers outside of Midgar? Are we gonna get fucking Matcha Magic? Like, I need to know these things.
Oh, I forgot about that. Goddamn. Oof.
Are we gonna
I'm
get
good.
Chocomog summoned by watching the Chocobos dance again? Like, what the fuck?
And now I'm trying to see Knights Around though. What the fuck?
Nah, you
Yeah,
know,
that's just not coming to the third one.
Yeah.
That's not coming to the third one. And that's another thing. Are they gonna make us breed Chocobos in the third one to get
The fucking
around? Like,
dude,
bro,
even
the
with
fact
triple
that the shit
speed,
we had to go through for that.
with triple speed, it still took me 2.5 hours. I was like, this is
Triple
fucking
speed while you were
blasphemy.
breathing?
Yeah, this is fucking
Oh my
blasphemous.
Bro, I did that shit as a kid, and like, I used to have a little save file. Oh, it didn't breed the right one. Reload.
Yep.
Alright, boys. Well, I appreciate y'all, and keep it moving.
All right,
See
bro.
what happens on Rebirth.
Hey, man.
I'll upload this and I'll give you the link so you can download it.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
All right, boys, I'm out. Peace.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.